Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the last time at this set. We're going to do yet another set change because we can't keep the same set for more than 2 months, can we? Anyways, today we saw Come Play, a new movie from Amblin Pictures, a Steven Spielberg production company, and a bunch of random fucking people. So Aiden, what was the plot of Come Play?
Come Play is about an autistic boy. He makes friends with Slender Man through his iPad. And then Slender Man tries to get out of the iPad and be friends with him.
And he's scared of Slender Man.
And Slender Man's kind of spooky. And his mom is upset that her son is retarded and wants to stop Slender Man. That's pretty much it. That's the movie.
Basically.
Yep. So Connor, what'd you think of Come Play?
Come Play was really bad, honestly. First off, the movie was an hour and a half long, but it felt like it was about 3. The movie was fucking beyond boring. So first off, for some reason this movie had a lot of SpongeBob in it. I don't know why. I guess they just got the rights. I don't know. I assume this was fucking produced by Viacom on some level. So there's a lot of SpongeBob in it. The kid only related to SpongeBob, and he really poorly hums the SpongeBob theme song throughout the movie, which was kind of weird. But basically, he has no friends because he's bullied in school, but he's bullied because his mom lied so that he wouldn't be friends with some kid who he punched or something, and the kid's like, I don't care that you punched me, it's okay, it happens. And he has autism, so he can't speak, but he learns to talk through his iPad or whatever. And this whole movie's kind of iPad bad, but iPad's the only way the kid can talk, but so it's not that bad. But it also there's spooky monster in iPad. Phone bad electronics in general.
Don't trust strangers. Your kids are gonna get kidnapped.
Slender Man. This movie really feels like a creepypasta, where he's like, one day my iPad had a spooky story, and I started to read it, and Slender Man came out of my iPad, and then him and his friends are tortured with Slender Man. And you have all this, you have this creepypasta-esque story. He's reading his goddamn story on his iPad. His dad and mom are not, his dad's a bad parent or something, but his mom also turns out to be a bad parent. I don't know what to say. It's kind of just a stupid fucking movie. It's boring as fuck. The acting, the kid doesn't speak at all, which might be for the best, because he has to speak through his fucking iPad. But there's references where he's like, maybe if you weren't so busy playing Fortnite. It's like, dude, we're in 2020. It's a little late to be saying the iPad bad message. It actually has pretty decent critical score. Not good. It's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's got a 56%, which is surprisingly good. The fact that more than 50% of critics actually at least thought this movie was not bad is surprising to me. Kind of shows the state of the world we live in, because this movie was fucking terrible. No one really dies. They didn't put any characters that could die. It's just the kid. I guess at the end, spoiler alert, his mom becomes a creepy ghost, and she becomes friends with...
she gets turned into Squidward suicide. Her eyes become red with...
Yeah, hyper-realistic blood is everywhere. So she becomes Squidward Suicide and joins Todd or whatever. It's some stupid fucking name.
Dead part. It's Larry.
Jason or something? I don't know. Larry. She joins up to Larry, or just Slender Man, as I like to call him, because it's literally fetus, slimy Slender Man. She joins him in the afterlife, so... That's the movie. She joins him. She's the only one who actually dies, kind of. But then there's supposed to be this heartwarming or spooky or something, I don't really know, scene where she's spinning him around as a ghost, and the dad can see him through the iPad, and he's like, wow, what a good mom who spins her boy around with the iPad. And the kid doesn't really learn to speak or anything. It was kind of predictable.
Well, he does say the one word. He says fear.
He says fear, and he says I love you at the end in broken fucking English. So nothing really gets resolved. His mom kind of just dies. His dad gets in a bad car accident.
But
and
his
has to
dad
walk with
becomes a
cane.
better dad from the experience.
Yeah, basically.
Slender
It was. The movie was boring. The fact that it was an hour and a half long and felt like it was 3 hours was really sad. The fact that nothing happened in the whole movie was sad. The movie was fucking boring. The jump scares were even kind of poorly done because I don't know if they were like, well, it's PG-13, we don't want to scare people too bad because we want kids to be able to watch this, so no like loud jump scares. So there's all these jump scares, but they're kind of anticlimactic because you're like, oh, there's a jump scare coming up, and then it's just like even lower volume than the normal movie. It's like a muffled ah, and then it's like oh, and the monster kind of just looks like a retarded creepypasta character instead of a fucking. It's a creepypasta. It seems like someone wrote a fucking creepypasta, and they put it out, and they didn't want it to be too scary because they wanted kids to be able to watch it. So it just comes off as fucking boring. There's a million jump scares, but since they couldn't actually do like a full volume jump scare, it's not fucking scary, or like doesn't even make you jump. Doesn't give you like the adrenaline a normal jump scare does. And jump scares kind of annoy me because it's such a cheap way to get scares out of there. But this really just feels like a modern episode of Goosebumps with the moral being technology bad and the mom's a spooky ghost at the end. Like the whole setup, concept, and everything feels like if they made like a 2020 reboot of the Goosebumps show, and not like the Jack Black movie, but the actual show. This would be an episode, but
Pretty
instead
much.
of being, or like put it on like fucking Key and Peele's fucking Twilight Zone remake or something where it's. If this was a 45-minute episode, I'd probably be like, okay. Or if I saw it, or if it was like on a streaming service, I wouldn't have watched it.
Black
but
Mirror.
in theory, it probably would work as like a 45-minute thing, kind of. Where you're like, well, that was kind of inoffensive, but mostly just terrible. I'd probably think of it as like a bad episode of like a remake Goosebumps. But the fact that they actually put this thing in fucking theaters and expected people to pay for it, and it's just boring crap. I feel like kids would be bored by it. It's not rated R, so they couldn't really do anything edgy. Its moral is technology bad, which is played out and stupid. And
played out.
Bro, if this came out in 2007, it'd be understandable. Otherwise, if it was like a boomer who wrote the Goosebumps episode. But like even a young director made this movie. Like the cast and crew seem to be fairly young. You think they would be kind of hip with it? And they're like, oh, you're too busy playing your goddamn Fortnite characters and Pokemon Go to be going to the polls or whatever. Fuck this stupid movie, dude. It's a fucking... And it's like the fact that your screenplay, you could have fucking copy-pasted off the creepypasta wiki. Bro, fuck this movie.
I'm sure this was a creepypasta that they just copy-pasted.
It was literally a fucking creepypasta, dude. If the character of fucking Spooky Slender Man was replaced with like a fucking hyper-realistic bloodied version of Knuckles the Echidna or something, or Squidward, it'd be the same damn thing. The movie wouldn't have changed. Like, this is literally, I'm shocked like the monster fucking Todd or whatever, fucking Toby, Jason, whatever, didn't come up at one point and say, aren't you scared by my hyper-realistic blood and red spooky eyes? This is a fucking creepypasta. It was fucking trash, and I fucking hate it. So, Aiden, what do you think of this movie?
You know, I was thinking on the way home, you know what this is, bro?
What is it?
It's a feature-length Black Mirror episode. Just like every episode of Black Mirror. It tries to be horror, and it sucks at it. The message is phone bad, and it's made for brainlit children.
I think
pretty
it
much a
is.
Black Mirror episode.
I feel like
It's like
based on
it's
how
like a Goosebumps version of Black Mirror.
right. This is how they would do a modern Goosebumps, because I feel like if they made a new Goosebumps series, which I guarantee you in the next 10 years, we're gonna have a reboot cheesy anthology Goosebumps show. It's gonna be on fucking I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be on Hulu. I don't know if it'll be on Disney Plus. I don't know who owns Goosebumps or who wants to buy some Goosebumps time. I think it's probably Sony and Columbia. Probably. Whenever Sony makes Sony Plus or whatever, this movie's gonna come out. And the thing is,
Sony Plus.
The thing is, like,
That'd be funny.
it is. It feels like a modern Goosebumps episode. Nothing
Pretty
too
much.
scary. Like you could show this to kids.
You know, my theory.
It feels like a creepypasta. It's paced and shot like a Goosebumps episode. The ending's like a Goosebumps episode, and the moral is a shitty phone bad moral. That's all you can come up with.
My theory is that this was pitched as a Squidward suicide film adaptation.
That's the SpongeBob's DNA kind of just stuck with it.
Yes. And Squidward's suicide was supposed to come out and take him and be friends with him instead, or maybe like Sonic EXE or something. Something in those veins.
Really would not shock
Dead
me.
Bart. Something like that. It's pretty much very generic trash. Every single thing is predictable. Every jump scare or their attempt at jump scare is just like, it's gonna come like 3 minutes before it does. Nothing fucking happens. The monster looks horrible. Maybe at some point there was a design that looked cool for it, but they used the cheapest, baddest CGI because it's a quarantine movie.
You're right.
And it looks like trash. Yep, that's pretty much it. I mean,
bro, you know what another
not
criticism
good.
I have is they don't show enough of the monster, but they also show too much. Like, either have a creepy monster chase him around and make it schlocky, which I think for a PG-13 thing probably would have been better, or have it be like a secretive, like you don't see much type of monster. But you don't see much, and then when you do see him, it'll like turn, and then like the editor just couldn't cut it. They're like, we need 6 seconds of him, of looking at him, and then he does a half-ass muffled scream, and then whatever happens. But it's like, if I don't see the monster at all, then it seems boring, like you're just trying to cheap on the effects.
Pretty much.
But then you also show way too much of him, so I know what he looks like, and he just sits there and doesn't do anything, so he's not fucking scary. There's not even like a fraction of me that was remotely scared. And normally in these movies I like to plug my ears at the jump scares I know is coming, because frankly I don't need a fucking loud ass 50 decibel fucking scream of the Annabelle doll shaking real quick. But at least those blow my fucking eardrums out, and some people are going to find that scary or enjoy that adrenaline rush of the screech. This movie just doesn't want to do it loud enough. And they throw all these fucking shitty ass jump scares in there that aren't scary, because they're like, okay, these jump scares should be well choreographed. So we see this guy for like 6 minutes, you're like, okay, he's about to scream eventually.
And then Larry just like stands around and waves his dick, and then after like
half
5
of
minutes he screeches and runs out.
Right, and half of what Larry does in this fucking movie is just like light bulb explodes.
Light bulb
fucking
explodes. Even when he gets his hands on the fucking kid, he just like runs like 10 steps and then puts him down.
Right, like half the time he has the kid in his hands, it's like, I thought you're, okay, mission accomplished, but apparently not.
Sprint off, take him, you won, you're done.
Yeah, no, it's trash.
Connor, would you recommend to come play?
I would not recommend come play. I don't even think it's like funny bad, I just think it's bad and boring and shitty. Like, I just wanted to go home the whole time I was watching the movie. Like, it's not worth your time. A lot of these movies, if they're so bad, I usually think it's fun to like get a laugh out of them, but there's nothing funny. It's just fucking boring. I guess the only thing I thought was funny was being able to say, "Oh, this is a creepypasta movie" the whole time.
Creepypasta.
This movie is clearly Sonic EXE style creepypasta. But other than that, no, it's just boring dog shit. So, Aiden, would you recommend come play?
No, obviously not. It's very bad and boring. It's not a good movie. It's trash. It's a trashy creepypasta.
Alright, so that was our review of Come Play. Next time you see us, be in a new set that hopefully looks better than this one, but I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't, who knows.
This thing wouldn't even land itself on the creepypasta wiki, it'd be on the troll pasta wiki because it's so bad.
I wish our fucking creepypasta, my creepypasta I made got landed on the pasta boards, or at least the troll pasta. Bro, my shit just got wholesale deleted.
Yeah.
And now it's like our 4th most viewed video.
Yeah, because we shilled it on the Lost Media Wiki for like 2 weeks.
It still gets like a fucking couple views a month. But for a while, bro, every once in a while, bro, every few months I get that comment that says, "Is this real?" No fucking way is it real, bro. You think they actually were just flashing like the World Trade Center?
Cut footage of 9/11 and slap chop.
Billy Mays, like 1991, even though it's clearly commercials from like 2007. Bro, how many kids these days grew up without knowing the fucking joys of having to sit on and watch TV and have Billy Mays show up?
And screech at you.
Billy Mays here!
Billy Mays here, I'm gonna sell you some fucking soap.
Bro, that's unique. That's unique to our generation, bro.